Hey, so welcome to Tea Break Training by the Sea. Today we're going to have a look at the top right model together. So let's just explore how we draw one of these. So first of all, it's as simple as just drawing a box on the floor with some tape. And you can see that there's 4 different boxes there, and this is called a 2 by 2. So we're then going to label the axes on this box. So in this bottom left corner, we've got the word low. In this top left corner, we've got the word high. And also, in this bottom right corner, we've also got the word high. And then we're going to label the axes. So this bottom axes here, we've labelled challenge and strong. And on this left axis here, we've got support and warmth. So the idea of this model is that it helps you to think about your responses to things so that you can think about, are you responding in a top left way? So you're being very highly supportive, but actually you're being quite low on strength and challenge. Or are you responding in a really strong way? You're being really challenging, but you're being really low on support and warmth. And the idea is that most human beings respond best when they respond in a way that fits here. So they're really supportive and warm and genuine, really empathetic, but also they're really challenging at the same time. So what we're going to do today is to take this excuse. I'm sorry, I've not had time, because this is an excuse that people use all the time. Bet you heard it twice yesterday. So let's start in the top left box. So remember, this is high support, high warmth, but low challenge. So if you were responding to somebody who said, I'm sorry, I've not had time, and you were being really supportive, but not very challenging, you might say something like, oh, don't worry, I'll do it. Now, the problem with that is that you've accidentally just made it okay that somebody didn't do something that you'd asked them to. So you've accidentally encouraged them to underperform. Also, you've just said, don't worry, I'll do it. So you've just increased your own workload. So let's move to this box. So this is a response that would be really low on challenge and also really low on warmth and support. Now, you might think that we don't use this response very often, but we do. Half the time we're so busy that when somebody says, I'm sorry, I've not got time, or they email us to say that, we might not even respond to the email, or we might just say, well, whatever. When we don't look up from what we're doing, when we're so busy with our own roles that we don't take the time to build relationships or to challenge other people, this can mean that the performance of people around us just gets to plateau. So moving over here. So this is a really highly strong, really challenging response that's low on warmth and support. So I'm sorry, I've not had time. If you were responding from this box here, you might respond and say, well, it's just not acceptable. Well, I don't care, you've not got time, you've just got to get it done. Or something with a string of expletives in that we won't put in this video. The problem with responding this way and not being in control of your own emotions when you're reacting to somebody giving you the excuse is that people get very defensive. People are likely to make excuses rather than explain what's really behind their reason for not delivering on something. You always have to be really careful not to trigger somebody's threat response by responding in a way that's really challenging, but in a way that doesn't suggest that you actually want to help them to fix the problem. So what we can do now, we know what a highly warm response that's low challenge looks like, and we know what a highly challenging but low warmth response looks like. We can go here, high support and high challenge. And if somebody says, I'm sorry, I've not had time, and you are responding in this box and you're in control of your own emotions, you're able to think and say things like, okay, well, let's work through what you're going to need in order to deliver this by 5 o'clock, because it does need to be done. Or you might say something like, Okay, so I'm not going to let you know that that's okay, that you've not delivered, but I really do want to understand what's sitting underneath that so that we can work together to fix the problem. When we use a top right response, people are much more likely to tell us what's sitting underneath their resistance, because very often this excuse, I'm sorry, I've not got time, can hide either a skill gap, so somebody doesn't know how, or a will gap, they've not got the motivation or maybe the confidence. But if we respond down here, they won't tell us the truth about what's really going on. And if we respond up here, we make them dependent on us to fix it. Responding up here, top right, high support and high challenge, means we get to the bottom of what's really going on, but we keep people accountable for what they should be delivering, rather than you delivering it, or actually terrifying people into not delivering at all. So hopefully that's helped. We've walked through top right, and this works for any excuse or anything that somebody says to you. You can literally take a tour around the boxes and think about what you would say in this box, top left, which is really supportive but not very challenging. What you would say if it was low support, low challenge and you're just really busy. What you would say if you're being really challenging but not very supportive. And then it becomes much easier to think about how you're going to respond in this top right box, because you're doing the best of both of these at the same time.